So today we're going to read another story from the manga theater book, and this one I do have to say is a very humble story and just a very bright, I don't know, loving story, I guess, if you want to call it. It felt like I haven't read one of these stories in a while, and it was just really good. It just, something humble about this story just felt very good, and I am kind of surprised that Akira Toriyama even made something like this story, and I kind of like it. Anyways, today we are going to be doing a review on a story called Karamaru and the Perfect Day. Now, just like what the story is called, it feels like this character, Karamaru, is going to have a perfect day. It's very intriguing how just this story just makes it feel that way, especially at the beginning of the story where you're seeing him just do his little training routines or just having fun in the wilderness, of course, shooting ninja stars, and it's just, I think it's really cool. But he gets back home, of course, to see his grandfather with some Matsutake mushrooms that he collected, of course, which then he finds out that he has to go and sell these mushrooms for his grandfather because his grandfather would sell these mushrooms in town so he can have medicine and everything. But unfortunately, because of him getting very sick at the moment, his grandson had to go to town and make sure that nobody knew for a fact that he was one of these ninja guys. He had to dress differently and make sure that nobody knew exactly who he was. But even though the start of this story was so humble and even had the feeling of Kid Gohan in it, especially when he was feeding the birds, I don't know why, just something about that part just made me have this vibe of Kid Gohan again. I don't know why, just maybe just there's just something about him when he's around animals when he was a kid that just gives off that vibe, so maybe that could be the case. But anyways, Karamaru meets up with a stranger on the way to the town, which I'm not gonna lie, I think this guy is not really a ninja. He says he's a ninja, but he's either lying and pretending he is, or he flunked ninja school, okay? There's no doubt in my mind that this man knows anything about ninjas. He kind of might know about something, but he definitely sucks at it. I just want to point that out. So even though Karamaru got distracted by this guy showing off his skills or the case may be, he realizes Matsutake mushrooms got stolen by these thugs, which the guy that says he's a ninja pretty much thought he could fight these guys and get the mushrooms back. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like at this point, he's starting to act more like Yajirobe at this point. Why? I think this guy needs to learn from Yajirobe's mistakes and maybe just don't fight. Just be scared and run away. And maybe that might be your better position. But anyways, he gets knocked out in one hit. And then that's when Karamaru had to step in, defeat the thugs. And sure enough, just at the right moment, when this dude was about to wake up from getting knocked out, and Karamaru probably had to tell him that he was the one that defeated the guys, not him, because it had to look like it wasn't him. So he had to give him, unfortunately, the victory to that one. But anyways, it skips a bit into later that day where pretty much Karamaru pretty much sold his Matsutake mushrooms. He got the money for his grandfather to get the medicine and everything. And sure enough, this guy just decided to think of him as a pupil at this point. He's like, I can train you, no worries. I'll make sure that you know how to survive and take care of yourself and all that. I just think that's funny how it kind of ended that way. Plus, also, he gave up his car to the police for some weird reason. I'm not entirely sure why he did that. It didn't explain that part in the book, unfortunately. But that's just kind of how the story ended, where he just kind of lost his car, and now he's just like, well, I'm just going to hang out with you, kid, at this point. So, but anyways, that was pretty much it for the story. Like I said, I think it's a very nice, humble story, and just kind of like what the title says, it's a perfect day for this kid to go on a nice little adventure and just have a good day. Like, it just felt very good, simple, not a lot of things happening at the time, and just, it was good. Like, I don't know what else to say. It was really actually pretty good. Now, I know there's some flaws in it, like I mentioned already, about like the car thing that definitely need more explanation of and stuff. Overall, the story, I have to give it is like an 8 out of 10. It's actually a pretty good story. Just out of that, like, compared to the last story, this one definitely is a lot better than the last one. I 100% will say that. So I think it's very cool that he went down that way and made this nice little simple story, even though, yes, it was funny a bit, especially with that random guy that thinks he was one of the peoples that were ninjas, but I just think it's hilarious that that's just how the story went. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for the review. Hope you guys enjoy watching. And it's pretty sad to say because we're almost done the book. Like, we're probably at the back of the book already. And there's only a few more stories left, unfortunately, to read. And we even took a break off of this, too. That's the funny part. But we're almost done with it. Like, literally, this whole book of all the stories that Akira Toriyama wrote. We were almost done doing the reviews on it. And I do want to say, I did see something on the back of the book. I don't want to talk too much about it. But it was about him talking about his short stories and stuff about that. So I do want to make a video as the last one for the Manga Theater little series review that I've been doing for this. And I think it would be a good ending for it because I think it's very intriguing what he says, and I think I would just love to just talk more about, you know, his thoughts and opinions about what he said about it. So definitely would be an interesting video, and hopefully you guys are intrigued by that as well. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy watching here live. For more, subscribe new, of course, and I will see you all, of course, in the next videos. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.